Good morning, everyone. Again, this is YH Kim from Namyangju, Korea. It's my second greetings to you in New Year 2025. We had what do you call the second snow of this year. As you see, there was some heavy snow last 40 minutes, and it came down a little bit strong, and now it's clearer. This heavy snow reminds me of West Germany, where I used to go in the 1980s on business. Now, Germany is quite cold. I think colder than South Korea. So when I went there in the mid 80s, there were snows even in the April or early May, which is unthinkable in Korea. It's about 8:15, I think, and the picture you are seeing is exactly the same one you saw yesterday, where I mentioned about the martial law and the impeachment. So, but it's clearer, so you can see better view, but we have more snow in the road. And a thought on this country from a historical perspective. You know, a generation generally covers 30 years, right? So South Korea was proclaimed as a republic in 1948 by Dr. Seungman Lee. So it's now just under 80 years, 76 years. And America, United States of America, you had about 260 years since your independence, because when I was a sophomore at Korea University back in 1976, I subscribed two weekly magazines, Time and Newsweek, and that year you had a big centennial celebration. I still remember those articles. So from the modern times, America is 4 times longer than in its independence compared to South Korea. And you know, Korea was Joseon Dynasty from 1392 to 1910, when Japan annexed Joseon. But those 500 years was very much a Confucian society, so heavily influenced by China, and we didn't see any other areas. So the first what you call treaty with a foreign country was made 1872. Oh, before that, 1866, I think. So we have the first generation of modern era who were born in 1860 to 1889. So let's call it the first generation. And the second generation, we can assume from 1890 to 1909. And then third generation, let's have those people who were born from 1910 to 1939. Then the fourth generation, I can say from 1950 to 1979. And the fifth generation, 1980 to 2009. And the sixth generation is current one. That is from 2010 to 2039. 14 years to go, right? So the first generation, that was really a very chaotic, you know. That should be my grandparents' age. You know, there was basically Koreans whose population was less than 20 million on the whole Korean peninsula, was very much ignorant about the outside world, mainly because of the king, Gojong's father. We call him as Heungseon Daewon-gun. He basically closed the country and killed many Catholics, and I think he was blamed for eventual Japanese annexation of Korea in 1910, because at the same time, from 1960s, Japan began to open and accepted all Western culture, politics, economy. So it has become civilized. But Korea still looking for China completely shut it up. That's why Japan won the Sino-Japanese War 1895, 94 to 95, and Russo-Japanese War 1904 to 05. So the first generation who were born during 1860 to 1889 were very unfortunate and were sacrificed by the those upper class. Then the second generation from 1890 to 1919, that was my grandparents' generation. They were now beginning to awake on the outside world, but it was too late. So this generation, I could say, not the worst, but the second worst generation of modern Korea. After that comes the third generation, my parents' ages, from 22 to 2049. No, 1920 to 1949. When my father was born, 1927, my mother was born 1929, and my only sister was born in 1948, when the Republic of Korea was proclaimed. This generation experienced the Korean War. So, the whole country, North and South Korea, was devastated, and Korea was one of the worst, the poorest country in the world. So after the armistice signed in July 27, 1953, the fourth generation start to work, who were born 1950 to 1979. This generation had a lot of new babies, you know. We call them as baby boom generations. So Korea, like a current India, Bangladesh, or Nigeria, was very young country. So this generation, the fourth generation, had very much contributed to the current so-called the miracle of Han River. And General Chung-hee Park, who took power after the coup d'etat in 1961, ruled South Korea from 1961 to 1979 with an iron fist. But Chung-hee Park was quite different from Ferdinand Marcos, the Philippine president. What I'm saying is that he was not corrupt. He didn't look for his own wealth or fortune. So he's been, even from the current standpoint, was very clean. And he put all his energy into the economic development of Korea. You know, like Deng Xiaoping in China, who propelled China into, you know, modern second world economy. Chung-hee Park had that ambition and energy. So I think as you see from current political turmoil in Korea, this generation, including myself, because I was born in 1956, the first baby boom generation, we define those who were born from 1954 to 1962, just after the Korean War. So these people who are now in their 60s and 70s fervently support Sung Yeon-yoon, the impeached president. So that's my second observation of Korean politics. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.